10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife? Kyle? DarbyCast, Wildcard Friday. What's up, DarbyCast doctors? You delightful, attractive, high ethics people. It's nice to have you here. I appreciate that you're spending a little time on a Friday or whatever day you happen to get around to listening to the episodes. I know some people are on a delay, and frankly, that's fine. That's entirely fine. Pretty sure every episode of DarbyCast is a standalone piece that can be consumed just about whenever. DarbyCast continues to rage on. People are sharing it. People are talking about it. You know, the best way that you as a DarbyCast doctor can really spread your wings, the way to really cement yourself as a premier doctor is talk up the podcast. You just go up to a stranger and you say, "Hey, person, you look like you're down on your luck." And they'll say, "Why do you think that?" And then you say, "Well, just look at you." That's pretty obvious. Stupid question, but have you heard about the DarbyCast? That's what you ask them. And they may say no. And you say, "Well, it's time to turn that frown upside down, you disconsolate shell of yourself." And they might give you some pushback and they say, "Why are you talking to me and telling me I'm depressed?" And then you fire back and you say, "Don't argue with me. I know things are tough right now, but I cherish you. I see you and your character." Then caress the side of their face with the back of one of your hands. Maybe you do it gracefully. Maybe you do it a little rough. That's what we're missing. Not just conversations about DarbyCast, but those great interactions with strangers. That's it. That's going to be the old topic of the day. The old TOD, talking with strangers. I think talking with strangers is pretty much the most fun thing you can do. I understand why, as a child, you're told not to speak with strangers. But as an adult, if you don't just see somebody random and walk right up to them and say like, "Hey, you are just missing out. You are missing out." Like the other day, I'm out for a walk in the late afternoon and I see a senior citizen, must have been 78 years old, and he was rollerblading. And it was just like, "Sir, when I grow up, I want to be like you." Guy just had your classic old guy build, a little bit of a belly, very pale, pasty legs, wearing a headband. And I scoped it out. I scoped out the situation before I went in there. I was like, "Dude, like, what is going on? You've clearly figured out everything there is to know about anything ever. Can I have a word with you?" But yeah, even just the beginning portion of that, just seeing a guy rollerblade that, you know, it's a high stakes game, rollerblading. For a senior, one little whoopsie doodle, your entire skeleton is shattered. That's what this guy risks on a daily basis. I assume he's rollerblading on a daily basis. What else does he have to do? The world shut down. And I'll tell you one thing he wasn't doing, wearing a mask. And I was just like, dude, I'm so impressed with everything about you. He could do really basic tricks. He skated backwards a little bit. He wasn't going fast. He did kind of like a little spin, a little twirl. His chick wasn't there. Some of you are asking, like, how do you know he was married or had a lady in his life? And I'm just going to respond to you on that one and just say, come on now. We all know that guy's killing it. That guy is killing it. But he's an honest lover. One gal kind of guy, but she knows he's got to keep his mind free. So when he says, "Hey, I'm going to throw the blades on and kind of chill out a little bit," and she says, like, "You're the hottest senior citizen I've ever met. I'm glad I get to spend time with you." That's this dude's life. I missed the opportunity to pull the guy aside and be like, have a seat on the grass, sir. Can we talk about DarbyCast? I think that may have gone over his head had I done that, but I didn't even try. Pretty fucking stupid if you ask me. Very stupid. I bet you that dude is a leader of a meetup group, like a Sunday parking lot roller derby group. I bet you he's just the king of that. Everybody shows up. He's there passing out waters. He's not the youngest guy there, but he is the best skater. Super chill. In the coronavirus era, interactions with strangers, all-time low. For me, which is really saying something. Still, my frequency of interacting with strangers is probably 8 times higher than the average person. I make it a point to accost people, tell them things, and be like, I like the way your pants fit, sir. And then you just walk away. Hell of a blouse, miss. Because you can't see their face. So it's just like, all right, the blouse compliment is open. Shoot the shot. There's something real nice about telling a 47-year-old housewife who looks as though she hasn't been cheerful in quite some time. You just go up to her and you say, what's your skincare routine? Because you're glowing. That's it. You must exfoliate. I don't know. Is that the thing to say? It is. Wow, great volume and luster on your hair. You must be using the right kind of products. Good job. Say that to a stranger this weekend and make their year. The bar for making somebody's year right now, incredibly low. Incredibly low. But there's something real nice about getting a compliment from a stranger, especially if it's specific. And I compliment people on whatever I see fit at the time. That's how I get down on the stranger game. That's how I do it. Go up to them and I say, I like that you're not wearing a mask. And then they say, yeah, masks are bullshit. I'm like, whoa, you said it first, huh? Right? The whole mask thing's getting pretty old. Not gonna lie. I went to the gym the other day. They made me wear a mask and kind of just looked at the guy running point on liaising entry for patrons. And I was like, is this a joke? Like, people are going to be taking their masks on and off, sliding them all over the place, touching their face, touching weights. Like, nobody should probably even be here, period. But if I'm going to be here, like, let me just roll the dice. Get out of my face. He says, company orders. I say, I still think you're a solid bro. Cool tattoo, very intricate design. Does that mean something important? That's talking with a stranger. You see a tattoo and you say, whoa, how about that? What's going on there? That's a pretty cool pattern. Whoa. Is that a jaguar paw? Is that a dragon? What does that mean to you? Because it means you're pretty cool to me. Then you walk away. I'm an assassin when it comes to compliments to strangers. And you know how I got to that title? I climbed the ladder to compliment assassin. I took a lot of shots and I missed. That's right. Boy, did I crash and burn a lot of times. But that's how you learn. You gotta take a bunch of cuts. You gotta take a bunch of hacks. And eventually you're gonna make some pretty hard contact. So if you go out and you're trying to interact with some strangers, give people some compliments, which people need right now. Boy, do people need some compliments. And a compliment from a stranger, it just kind of hits different. It just hits different. But if you fuck up as you're honing your craft, that's okay. Stay away from vulgarity. That doesn't play unless you're exceptionally attractive, and then you can get away with saying anything to anybody. That is definitely true. How do I know this? I used to be better looking. I said weirder stuff. I've aged a little bit. No longer in that youthful stage. I'm just shredded. the blasé attitude, but I used to be there where I could say, whoa, are we at the Tropicana OJ distribution train yard, miss? Because I'm looking at a juicy caboose. I used to be able to get away with saying shit like that. Now I shouldn't. That's a little self-assessment that you kind of need to have, where it's like, if I really want to go incredibly hard on comments to strangers, I'm going to need to know exactly how I would feel if somebody of similar attractiveness said that to me. So you look in the mirror, try some of these things out. And if you're like a complete 10, like 95% of DarbyCast doctors are, fire away with whatever. Just go up to a random bro, you say, whoa, all right. I'm from the Department of Fish and Game. Those arms, sir, they are pythons. And I'm going to have to ask you to leave because pythons are not native to this area. Invasive species. How somebody would react to that? Unclear. Would they be charmed? Maybe. Would they say, get away from me right this second? Maybe. But like I said earlier, shotgun approach. Find your stranger comment rhythm. Do that service for the people with whom you come into contact. You got to do it. If you're a DarbyCast doctor, which you're listening to the DarbyCast, so chances are you are, it is your duty to lift the spirits of just about everybody with whom you come into contact. That's your homework perpetually. And so hitting strangers with compliments and then being like, I listened to a cool podcast. It's called DarbyCast. And then you leave. Okay. That's how this works. You say, you should probably subscribe to the DarbyCast. If what you lay down to a stranger is received well, you're going to segue right into, hey, my name's blank. I listen to DarbyCast. You might want to consider it. Give it 5 stars. Share it with your people. Subscribe so you get notifications when new episodes come out. And then when they say, what? You say, oh, sorry, what was your name? And then you've just made a friend. Do you see how that works? Pretty cool. I was taking a walk the other day by an outdoor basketball court. It's on my evening walk route. There were some bros playing a little 2-on-2 basketball. I love the game. So what did I do? Set up shop right next to it. This one kid hit a hook shot. So what did I say? Whoa, looks like we got Rick Smits on our hands. And the kid obviously had no idea who former Indiana Pacers center Rick Smits, otherwise known as the Duncan Dutchman, was. Kyle, Rick Smits, alive, exceptionally tall people, shorter longevity. See if he's around. We'll get him as a guest one of these Sports Mondays. That'd be cool. I was at the beach the other day. I saw this group of guys and gals. They were all friends. I was jogging. What did I do? Decided to stop. And some of you right now, you're thinking, why are you just interrupting people? What if they've got stuff going on? I'm going to tell you right now, they don't have stuff going on. They're probably feeling sorry for themselves and wondering if the world is going to keep getting weirder and whether in November, if Joe Biden's minions will burn down the country. That's what people are thinking about. Pull them out of that space. I went up to that group. There were about 8 people there. You know who I zeroed in on? The gal wearing a one-piece that wasn't super revealing. And I just said, hey, nice one-piece. And then I did a hard look at all the other girls, a look that quietly communicated, like, call your dad. That's a strong play. Continued jogging. Saw some bros playing spike ball. Guy used his left. I pulled both my headphones out and yelled. It's like, nice left. Are you a community glue guy or glue gal? Do you bring people together, even if you don't know them? Do you make people's day? Is that part of your objective? Are you only interacting with people in contexts that are familiar to you? What a waste. There's so many weird, delightful people out there. It's just going to blow your mind. Like, check this. The other day, visiting a friend, and there's a security guy in a golf cart who patrols the neighborhood. What do you think I did? What do you think I did? That's right. Took the guy aside and I said, "Hey, Antoine, this whole coronavirus thing, are you buying it?" He says, "I'm not." And I say, "Tell me about your dreams." And he said, "You mean like at night or like where I want to go in life?" And I was like, honestly, just pick one of them because I'm sure either one would be great to hear about. And he decided to talk about his professional dream. And he said, "I want to be a pro wrestler. I'm thinking about getting involved, hitting the circuit." And I'm like, "What's that like?" And he's like, "Well, you got to train." And I'm like, "Okay, what else?" And he was like, "Well, you got to go to events sometimes in Mexico." And I'm like, "Wow. So how do you make it to the big time?" And he was like, "It's tough. There's a lot of people who want to do this." And I responded to that. I was like, "Truly, you're like the first person I've ever heard of who's thought about this in a pretty serious way. I've never heard anyone talk about this at all." So then Antoine says to me, he says, "What do you think I should do?" And I told him, "Antoine, if you want to make it as a pro wrestler, there are few skills more important than being able to mystify a crowd with your smack talk and your game plan moving forward. Go on YouTube and watch Dwayne The Rock Johnson and look at what he does when he speaks. Incredible public speaker. Watch how The Rock tells the crowd, I'm going to beat the hell out of this guy, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. It doesn't matter what your name is. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Watch those videos, Antoine. You will go far." Then he says, "Wow, man, thanks for the help. Hey, you want to like hang out sometime?" And then I just say, "No, but I enjoyed the conversation." And then I just leave. That is how I need all of you to be interacting out in the world. Such value to that. Like, think back over the past 3 months of your interactions with people that you don't know. Did any of those interactions just really do it for you? They say you got to be the change you want to see in the world. So if you haven't had those experiences, maybe this is your wake-up call to be the initiator, to be the instigator. And don't worry about not getting it right. Just go for it. Sure, you might let a couple terrible ones fly and be like, "Nice jugs, babe." But you can, dust yourself off after that one and try again, probably with somebody new. I think you should probably run if you blow it like that. Guys, here are the keys for complimenting ladies. They spend way more time than you know on taking care of their skin and hair and picking out the things that they wear. Do with that what you will. Okay? Not a lot of these gals get recognition for being stylish. You say, "Hey, your fashion sense is breathtaking." And you could leave it at that. Or you could dive a little bit deeper. You could and say, "Hey, lady, those shoes wouldn't quite make sense unless you were wearing that belt that you are. What I'm trying to say here is you are a fashion icon. Have a great day, ma'am." Sometimes you leave without waiting for a response. You just let that comment sit with that person. Ladies, here's your tip. Dudes don't get validation for anything. So if you throw a compliment out there at all, most dudes will not know what to do with it. It might incite like a brain aneurysm. So just be careful. Ladies, okay? Maybe you see a couple walking, and whether they're young or old, doesn't matter. You can still say, "Wow, the two of you look like you could have been on the cover of an LL Bean catalog. You must get that off and enjoy the rest of your day. And you're out. Those people's faith in humanity immediately restored. 100% restored. They may have been feeling pretty, but then you hit them with the LL Bean. You see a fat guy drinking a water and you just say, nice hydration situation. And then just give him a thumbs up. Easy enough. Another key piece that I'm going to give you is that if you don't mean these compliments, don't waste your time saying them. Like if you're not ready to step up and be the hero that your city or town needs, then leave it to the professionals. But chances are you're probably pretty good. If you're listening to the DarbyCast, if you track with these episodes, you're probably pretty dialed in and have what others describe as a sixth sense, an intuition about others, that you meet them where they're at and then take them to the next level. That should be how you describe yourself. Somebody says, hey, what are you all about? Elevator pitch me. Who are you? You're like, well, I like to meet people where they're at and then I take them to the next level. It's important to me. People go, wow, I like that. That's what people say. I know some of you are thinking right now, well, what if I drop one of these comments and I end up getting into more of a lengthy conversation in the way that maybe you got into a longer conversation with that fella Antoine? I say to that, if such is the case, you ride it. You ride it. You see where that conversation goes. If you find yourself in a long conversation with somebody who you've never met and you just give them permission, say, hey, lay it on me, Devin. What the heck is going on? How have things been for you? What's been on your mind lately? What's missing in your life, Devin? Do you have that in you? Because you should. You absolutely should. I had a buddy the other day. He came to me and said, I don't think anybody trusts anyone anymore. And say, I don't think you're wrong. And so rebuilding that trust in our neighbors, our colleagues, families, it's going to take some courage. It's going to take some confidence. And it's also going to take a couple of hard cuts and big misses. I can't stress that enough. But you just get back on the bike. Get back on the horse. If you get bucked off, get back on. Okay? That's it. Get outside. Put yourself in a public place. And if you're feeling kind of like a wuss and you got to wear your mask, then wear your mask. But pull it down from time to time. Smile at people and just say, hey, what's up? It's okay if you say something halfway insane. It's okay. You'll bounce back from it. You say, wow, your smile's so bright. I feel like I'm looking at the nuclear blast that happened at Hiroshima. After you drop that, if you kind of drop the ball a little bit and you say something a little offbeat like that, just sprint away and then get ready for the next play. That's your game for this weekend, is approach 20 strangers. Put yourself in that kind of position. And if you're the kind of coward that is going to say, I don't like talking to strangers, allow this podcast to inspire you to a place of self-improvement, self-betterment, and realize that growth does not happen in the comfort zone. And maybe it's not about you, right? If you're saying, I don't really like talking to strangers. But what if that person that you went up to, what if they really needed it? What if you just saw some middle-aged guy on a park bench, 47 years old? You sit down next to him, you say, sir, you have a really well-groomed mustache. Haven't seen something like that really ever. You must be a great guy and everything's got to be working out for you. And that's a big conversation door to open because he's going to say, well, not everything, right? Because nobody's life's perfect. Even a guy with a perfect mustache has a couple things going on. But if there's a guy with a mustache on a park bench sitting down by himself, it's a great opportunity for you to say, time to change someone's entire perspective on everything. Be that hero. When that mustachioed fella, when you give him full license to spill the beans, what if he just said, I'm sitting on this bench waiting for a bus because I totaled my car when I was driving drunk? Yeah, sometimes people will overshare like that. Strangers will overshare. And when that happens, you as a DarbyCast doctor, you will not flinch. You won't. Somebody says that and you say, wow, the world is full of violence. And then the guy's going to be like, I know. And then you say, have you ever been to Wild Rivers or Raging Rapids, the water parks? And the guy will say, no. Well, yeah, but not for quite some time. And that's when you come in and you seal the deal, make this guy's year, maybe his life. You say, well, keep your chin up, sir, because with a mustache like that, every gal who sees you is going to share a lot in common with those water parks. If you catch my drift. And you wink at him, and you leave. That's it. Do a good job. That's DarbyCast for you. That's Wildcard Friday. I hope you have an amazing weekend talking to strangers. Give this a 5-star review on iTunes. Give this a 5-star review on Google Podcasts, on Spotify. Just review the hell out of it. Be like, this is the greatest thing ever. It increased my confidence, and then I became a community leader. I became a shining beacon of hope for those around me. People look to me to lift people's spirits. I started standing up taller after listening to this podcast. My posture is now excellent because of the good energy that flows through me. These are all examples of things you could say on a 5-star review, wherever you're listening to this. But get that 5-star review in there. If you haven't done it, it's okay. You're a little late to the party. Most people do that. The real core DarbyCast doctors, the elite doctors, people who are already approaching strangers effortlessly and skillfully, they've already left a review, 5 stars. But maybe you just do the entire package. You subscribe. You send this out into your group text with your coolest friends. Because you've got like probably 4 major group texts going on right now. You've got the core group, you've got the side group, another side group, and then kind of a whatever group where you're like, wish I could opt out of this group text, but there's one person with an Android phone and I can't just leave the conversation now. Even send it to that group. Send them a link. Hit the share button, copy the link, throw it in there, and then hit a compliment as well. Maybe a conditional compliment. You text that link into your group chat. You say, only the most attractive of you will click this. Boy, does that just turn up the heat on making people want to click something. Go out into the world. Be clickbait of a person based on you radiating positivity, where people start coming up to you and they say, wow, is your body filled with liquid sunshine? Because I can feel your warmth radiating my way. You see that? How are you going to feel if this happens to you? If somebody hits you with a compliment before you can get to them, you're just walking out there in the world. Somebody's like, nice sunglasses. And then you've got to one-up them in a big way. And you say, I won't ask you to lift up your shirt, but we both know you've got a great core. Have a good day. And that's a walk-off home run. That's a walk-off grand slam of a compliment right there. Any stranger would get pretty wild on that. But let me just kind of bring it back. Quick little handy, helpful reminder. Know who you're passing to, but know who you are too. If you're 8, 9, or a 10, which again, got about 95 to 97% of DarbyCast listeners are in that category. But if you are a 5 or below, be a little bit more conservative on the compliments, because for whatever reason, hot people can say anything. That's it. So what does that also mean? If you want to enter the higher stakes style compliment game, up your own self-care routine. Start hitting the weights harder. Start eating right. Getting more sleep. All of a sudden, you're looking pretty dynamic, pretty good. What's going to happen then? You can get away with dropping a lot crazier sounding comments, and those are the fun ones. Those are the fun ones to drop. See that stranger, look at him and you say, "Excuse me, did you just fly in from Milan? Is it Fashion Week?" "Oh, it's not. Could have fooled me." But that's DarbyCast for you. That is Wildcard Friday. Go have a solid weekend. Do it right. There may be some changes to the DarbyCast moving forward. There may be a few changes. I hinted at it in episode 50. Maybe mix it up a little bit. People keep telling me, they say, you need to get a little bit more niche. You need to get a little bit more specific. And then I respond to them, well, as much as I appreciate the advice of such an attractive and intelligent person who really pulls off a pair of bifocals, I say shit like that. I say, my interests have such breadth that it's hard to nail down just one topic. And they say, well, maybe you think about it. And so that's precisely what I'm doing. So if the DarbyCast changes and you hate the changes, write Kyle an email, info@DarbyShireUSA.com. Leave a comment on one of the Instagram posts, on Facebook. I'm supposed to do more Facebook stuff. Guess that's a good call. But yeah, if you love the way things have been, pass this on. The greatest compliment I can receive from you is sharing this with somebody who needs it, even if they are a stranger. Remember what that sounds like? Find that dog walker and say, wow, you've got a fantastic looking dog. But as they say, like dog, like owner, then go for a really slow, exaggerated wink. It's DarbyCast, Wildcard Friday.